welcome to week 15. This week we're going to work on balance training, which is one of my favorite things to do with our dogs. And it's a really simple thing. It's super beneficial for all dogs, and it's something that most dogs find really fun to do too. So let's get started. Today we're going to use this peanut ball mainly, but there are other balancing balls to buy on the market. This is a disc, which is pretty good. And these are little smaller discs, which they're good for smaller dogs, obviously, and also if you want to do paw targeting with your bigger dog. This peanut ball is excellent for beginners. This one is 70 centimeters in diameter, which is pretty good for like a medium to large size dog. But you need to adjust the size of your ball for the size of your dog, obviously. I'll write a little bit about it in the description, what you need to think about. Step 1. In this first step, we're going to lower our dogs onto the ball with their front feet. It's really important that you hold on to the ball really well. You don't want your dog to slip and get scared the first thing they do. You can sit on a chair or a couch like this and hold it with your knees. Works pretty well. Or if you want it to be more steady, you can put it against a couch or similar thing. Then you can also lure your dog up onto the couch and then onto the ball. Good girl. But I'm going to start this way. I think it's easier. So what you do is you take a piece of food, have your dog wear a harness if they're insecure or a little bit scared, or just not very balanced. You can support them by holding on to the harness so they don't fall. That's scary. Okay, Boo Boo. So if you have a cue, for example, paws up, you can use your cue. Paws up. Good job. Feed them for the position. You can let the ball wobble a little, get them used to the surface. Okay. Something that is really important to think about, when you begin this game, is to never let your dog jump up or put their paws up on their own. You have to wait until you cue them. This is for safety reasons. If this ball was just laying on the floor and I didn't hold it, she would probably fall and hurt herself if she just jumped on it or put her paws up on it without me supporting the ball. So think about that. You can feed your dog for waiting. It's really good to start the habit immediately. You feed them for waiting, and then you feed them for putting the paws up after you cue them. Good girl. And then you can release them with the free cue. Free. Good girl. Good job. Okay. So when they get a little bit more comfortable, you can cue them to do paws up without holding the harness. Feed them several treats for just putting their paws up. Free. Step 2. Now we're going to lure our dog all the way up onto the ball with all 4 feet. And it's really important that you hold on to their harness here if they've never done this before, because they can get surprised by how wobbly it is up there. Are you ready, Boo Boo? Jump up. Good girl. So hold the ball with your legs so it's really steady and doesn't roll around a lot. And hold on to the harness. Feed them for standing straight. Good girl. Once they gain their confidence and practice this a little bit, you can cue them to jump up without holding on to their harness. Jump up. Good girl. So this is the position that I would recommend for a beginner dog. You see their face, you can reach their harness, and they're really nice and straight and comfortable on the ball. So work on this a little bit. Good girl. Good girl. And free. Good job. Make sure that the area you work in has, first of all, a non-slip ball to balance on, but also a non-slip floor around it, because if they jump off and slip on the floor, they can really hurt themselves. So put a big carpet out or work on the grass if you don't have a carpet inside, or think something out. And while they're on the ball, be prepared with your hands to catch them if they suddenly were to fall to the side after you let go of their harness. So this is a game where you need to be concentrated the whole time on your dog, so nothing scary happens. Step 3. In this step, we're going to work on a sit on the ball. So you ask your dog to jump up or lower them up. Jump up. Good job. And sit. This can be really hard for dogs if it's the first time you do this, so you can help them by luring them into the position and support them with your hands. Don't push them down though, obviously. Just be there as a light support. So you feed multiple treats for sitting. You can also use your marker word. Yes. 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 I wouldn't recommend using the clicker in this scenario, because you need all your hands to hold on to your dog, the ball, the treats, and you just use the marker word or just don't mark it off. It's fine. Once they gain their confidence, you can let go of the ball just a tiny bit. See? You see with your legs. Very little, just so it barely moves. You can see the difference in her body, and she now wobbles a little bit. And this is where they build all their amazing core muscles. And they wobble on the ball a little bit. Good girl. Yes. Yes. Step 4. Now we're going to add some head movements to the sit. Ready, Trish? Jump up. Sit. So what you do is you take a piece of food in your hand. Wait for your dog to stop offering crazy stuff, and then you lower their head towards their elbow and feed them the treat. Yes. Yes. Maybe it doesn't look very much to you, but it's really hard if your dog is not used to this type of exercise. Wait. Yes. You do it on both sides. I'm showing you on your side so you can see what I'm doing, but make sure to do it equally on both sides. Yes. 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 Once they master the elbow, you can aim for their hip or their knee if they're sitting. Good girl. The whole idea is that they stay sitting while they're stretching their head to the side, and that requires a whole lot of other muscles to work when they have their head all the way back here and still balance. So once they master the side to side head movement on both sides, you can start adding an up and downwards movement. So you stretch their head up. Make sure they don't sit pretty. Just stretch their head, good girl. If they are likely to sit pretty, if they're very comfortable with this, you can hold your hand here so they don't just fall backwards. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes. The downwards movement. Sit. your dog has mastered the sit and turn your head exercise, you can try the same exercise in a down and a stand. Head down. Up. Yes. Good. Other side. Good job. Other side. Good girl. So as you can see, I'm holding my hand on her other side just in case she were to fall that way. The other side. Good girl. Good.
Step 5.
So another great exercise is to rock the ball a little while they're on it, and you can only do this if they're really good at balancing already. So you loosen your legs a little and hold on to the ball with your hands, and then slightly rock it back and forth in different positions. Can you see? And as you can see, he's working a lot with his back legs and back muscles, getting his balance here. He's really comfy on this ball. Can you stay? Thank you. Stay.
Good boy. Good boy.
Very good boy. Okay, free.
Advanced balance ball exercises. Lift your paw.
Splash is going to demo the lift your paw exercise. And you can either lift their paw if they don't have a cue to do it themselves, or if they need more support. You lift their paw up and you let them find the balance on their 3 legs. Good girl. Yes. The back leg.
Good girl.
So when you lift their foot up, you can hold the hand on the other side just to be sure they don't fall over. Yes, good girl. Yes. Good job. If they have a cue, you can cue them to do the behavior themselves if they have the balance to do it. Can you bow? It's hard, that's much. Good girl. Yes. Hind leg. Very good girl. So there you saw me catch her. She was falling over that way. So just be ready for them to suddenly fall. Can happen.
Position changes.
So another really great exercise is work on the sit down stand on the ball. And this is really hard for dogs, so just keep it short in the beginning before your dog gains the muscle power to do this. Can you see? So you go from sit to down, forward, stand, down, stand, sit, down, sit, down. Stand, and sit, stand, down, stand, down, sit. Bye.
And some freestyle.
So once your dog got really good at this, you can add some freestyle into it just to make it fun, which is basically you ask your dog for tricks while they're on the ball. So for example, can you do a high five? Yeah. Ooh. Yes. Is it pretty? Awesome. Very good boy.
Job.
Trish, can you spin? Good girl. And twirl. Good job. Cross. if you have a balance disc at home, that's an excellent tool too to use. You can do all the exercises we did on the peanut ball on this type of ball too. If you have a really large dog, it can be hard to get them to lay down because they kind of fall off, but that's okay. You can also use these smaller balls for the bigger dogs to do paw targeting on. For a small dog, you can do both feet, or if you have a really small dog, you can lure them onto the ball with all 4 feet. But good boy. So what you don't want to see is their back being arched like this all the time. If you only have a very small ball and your dog always looks like this, it might be a good idea to invest in some larger ball. It is a good exercise, but not all the time and not too much. And only if they're really fit already. Down. Bravo. Good boy. Down. So if you have a bunch of smaller balance discs, you can combine them into a bigger thing that your dog can balance on. Like this, for example. Or good girl. Not as easy as it looks. There, good girl.